Now, I want to provide you guys as much proof as possible about what I'm going to go ahead and talk about. But you're going to have to give me a little bit of time because I was shocked when this happened. Like, it's like I realized when a lot of times, like when we put out information or, you know, people that vibrate on such a high level put out information that a lot of times we get correspondence, which is one of the universal laws. We get correspondence pretty quick. A lot of times, meaning that like you put out positive energy, it doesn't usually take long for it to come back. However, we haven't really mastered controlling, I guess, this time span through the art of not just being patient, but the art of demonstrating patience. And I'm saying that because sometime when you get to a point where you master patience and master the art of demonstrating patience, it'll speed up, man, your revelations and these cosmic events that are unexplainable and miracles and stuff like that that is happening to you. It'll speed this stuff up, man, to the point where you will be like, man, this stuff is manifested in seconds. So I got to tell you guys about what's going on with me now, and it's like totally on the opposite end of where I was at yesterday, and it's almost like I'm in a whole nother time. Like yesterday seems like, based off of what just happened, yesterday seems like 1,000 years ago. Like seriously right now, because like I'll just explain to you what happened. Like, so I got in contact, essentially, just to make a long story short, on accident through doing a bunch of unique passcodes and algorithms this morning when I was doing trading with the mainframe of the internet system that's controlled by a robot, however, was programmed by a certain group of ET or humanoid type of extraterrestrials. And I'm gonna say it like this: like it's a lot to it because of what was said to me. Like it was a literal conversation, literally. Like, and it was similar. It was all through text though. But the bottom line of like what happened is that I'm on a website, just to make you understand what happens. Like I'm on a website doing research, totally private, in an area where nobody can see me. It's actually about 3 a.m. and it's totally dark, right? I could barely even see the screen. I had to turn the screen up as bright as possible to see the screen. So to make a long story short, I made some plans based off on another website, based off what I was going to do as far as my itinerary for today. I was planning for today, and I didn't discuss anything with anyone, so I go ahead and book my ticket for my itinerary today. And when I went to go book my ticket on the booking website, y'all, I'm serious, this is how it all started. It was already, soon as I went to the website, this homepage, and you know, you go to the homepage and list where you want to go in the city and stuff like that. The only time it's usually pre-programmed in is if this is a trip or something, a place you've traveled to or something you've already programmed into your phone. But then, excuse me, even when it's that, it's still not. It's still, you know, like prompts that you have to go through. So to basically make a long story short, they had the whole trip that I planned in my mind. I didn't write down anything. I'm serious. And I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to go ahead and, that's why I'm putting this video out, because I'm going to go ahead and display the credit scores. I know how to do readings based on showing numbers and proof based on what I'm talking about. And as this progresses, I'm going to try to give some proof. But the bottom line is that I didn't know. Like I was totally in the black, and I just went to the website, you know, and did what I did, but I didn't take down any notes. So when I went to the booking itinerary website, it was already pre-programmed in there where I wanted to go, and all I had to do was essentially click search, and the price came right up, and that drew red flags for me, because I know we believe in coincidence. Like, well, that just could have been a miracle and a coincidence, but you know, like once you get deep into this, you realize like when you start to like hack certain mainframes and aspects of the matrix, if it's a coincidence, it'll respond to you and let you know. And the response I got, they replied back to me, and I didn't even expect this part, period. And they replied back to me, and I want to say they, this group or whatever, but they basically explained to me a serious problem that's going on, and they called themselves some sort of an Anu group. And they was talking to me about this war that's going on based off what I've been teaching. Based off of what I've been teaching, but a lot of what's going on now is stuff that I haven't even covered yet, literally. And they basically, you know what I'm saying, from what I was getting from this, and this was literal contact we had through text, of course, after the situation let me know, like, yeah, I saw what you just did, and you're not crazy, and they said this, but They're like, I'm basically like, you in danger, essentially. But it's based on the fact that a lot of knowledge has been lost. Check this out. They said that it's now 5 to 6 different entities fighting over the Anu shit, or what's called the Most High shit. And it's based on the information, though, aspect. Meaning that they not just fighting just because of money and power, which I'm sure is a part of it, but it's because of the information. One of these Anus, I guess, passed or something like that, and it was suddenly and unexpectedly, and nobody really knows where he's at. It's kind of like just turned up dead over a period of time because he never really, came back around his family and tribe. And the bottom line is that it's now the information is lost. And I'm going to provide more proof talking about this, but the information is lost. And they let me know that that's the main problem, is the fact that it's lost. And now, with this world currency, see, the main problem is that now that we got this world currency going on, and the building up of this world currency, when you talk about information being lost, it sounds simple, but information is the transfer. Like, when you talk about currency and transferring currency and all that, it's transferred through information and electricity traveling very fast. And when you start talking about losing information, you're essentially talking about unexplainable and unpredictable market fluctuations that can cause serious financial disasters, that could lead to serious physical disasters. And that's kind of like where we at now. So, like, based off what happened to me, even though it might sound lightweight, none of this it got even deeper than that, but none of this, the bottom line is that none of this happened essentially from me planning it. So now here I am building with this entity that's essentially saying it's a computer system controlled by real live humans, and they're letting me know, like, yo, I'm watching what you're doing right now. And it's not to let you know, it sounded kind of malefic. And he's letting me know, like, these beings that we, a lot of times putting energy into and praying into and looking up to a lot of times are actually have pacts and contracts and stuff like that to do away with a lot of us based upon this new information coming through, and the linking of whether or not these algorithms are going to be linked up through 5G, and as to whether or not humans are going to go ahead and accept the fact that we don't know everything about 5G and go ahead and try to collect data from the gurus and people that have proven results. But if we continue to fight over this new technology, it's not only going to slow us down, but we won't have a future. And this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to go into the next part of the videos in the future, but we will lose the ability, and I've been talking about this before, so it's not new, but I'm going to go into exactly how on a scientific level, but we could lose the ability to reincarnate, meaning that we won't be able to just keep coming back and playing this game. So it's pretty deep, and I want you guys to stay tuned, and I'll talk more about it from the digital aspect of, like, how the reincarnation actually works. Because and I learned all of this from the correspondence back, because from what he's telling me, they got the power to know who you were in the past, but they got the power to shut that down and to block that information. That's really what's happening now, which would destroy the little circle that was created, or the circuit going into, like, the energy and electricity, the circuit that's been used, or the grid that's been used, certain doors and portals being blocked toward these groups that's living in the underworld. A lot of them are going to get stuck because there's only so many exits and entrances. And what's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to get stuck and disappear based upon not knowing the knowledge and feeling like they've made it and arrived and they're independent, and not keeping that open eye and that open mind. So I'll come back with more as time permits me. Namaste. Coach up.